What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Lucrecio coming at you with another video. Alright, so today's video is about the Sacramento Kings, man. We just finished draft night the other day, and we saw Sacramento very quietly have the best draft that I've seen the team have in quite a while. A franchise-changing draft almost, alright? And these are the reasons why, alright? So let's talk about the people that they ended up getting in the draft, alright? The first one, with pick number 5, was De'Aaron Fox. A lot of people consider this guy to be the new John Wall or whatever. Even though he doesn't have to be John Wall necessarily, it's just certain attributes kind of make that connection. Number one, the speed. I watched this guy in college. He's super fast up and down the court. Fastest person on the court 98% of the time. Possibly the fastest player in college basketball with the ball. All right, very reminiscent of John Wall. His size, he's about 6'4", and his finishing ability at the rim and his playmaking ability, all these things make him somebody who could become a special player in the NBA. And that was the 5th pick in the draft. All right, so they hit on the 5th pick in the draft. All right. There's been a lot of talk about his shot. Now, I watched De'Aaron Fox. I watched Kentucky a lot in last year. De'Aaron Fox, his shot is not that bad. I don't understand why they're talking about, oh, well, he can't shoot. I thought percentage-wise for the whole season, maybe he didn't shoot a great percentage from 3. But from watching game to game, he was not a liability from the three-point line. Now, the college three-pointer is obviously a lot closer. He also looked like he had a little bit of a mid-range game going too. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to be a very, very good point guard in the NBA. All right. Let's move on to the next person they picked in the draft. Justin Jackson. All right. The champion, the national champion. I like his game. He has a very good mid-range game. He can shoot. He does a lot of floaters around the basket. He's big. He's like 6'8" or whatever. He's not like the biggest guy or whatever, but he'll grow. I think he's going to be a very good player. He might not be a star necessarily, all-star type player in the NBA, but he will be a very significant player in the NBA. I like his game a lot. I love what he brought to UNC. He was the leader of that team, and they won a national championship. That's really all you need to know. Justin Jackson will be good. All right. Let's go to the next pick. I'm going to skip the guy they picked next and go to their 2nd round pick, Frank Mason. All right. This guy was one of the top like 3 or 4 or 5 point guards in college basketball last year. Right. He's a great shooter. I've been watching this guy for 4 years, literally since he was playing in Kansas with Wiggins, which was what, 3 years ago. Even before that. Frank Mason is a legit point guard. Problem is he's small. He's small and he's not super athletic as you see the other point guards in the NBA right now. He's not super quick. He's quick enough, but he's not super quick. He's not jumping out the building. He's not 6'3". All of these are the reasons why he wasn't picked in the 1st round. It was not, however, that he can't play basketball at the level of a 1st rounder. If he was 6'3", he would have been a lottery pick. Bold statement, but that's fine. If he was 6'3", he would have been a lottery pick. Frank Mason, as a backup point guard, will be very good in the NBA. He will be a player who's around for a long time. He's not going overseas anytime soon. He was drafted. He's going to get signed to the Sacramento Kings. He's going to last very long in the NBA. Now, let's get to my dude, Harry Giles. I've been watching this cat for a while through the different avenues out there where you get to see all these high school players through AAU and all that stuff. His NBA comparison is Kevin Garnett or Chris Webber. Every time I hear somebody talk about Harry Giles, and I hope I'm saying his name right, it's Chris Webber or Kevin Garnett. His body looks like Kevin Garnett when he was young. And when you see him play, he's just a dominant player. He has so many skills. He looks like he's about 6'10", 6'9". He has point guard skills. He can dribble. He has some moves or whatever. He can attack the basket. He looks like he even has a little bit of range on his jumper. They're going to use him a lot now. Before I get into that, let's talk about why he wasn't the first pick in this draft, because he was the best player in this draft, if healthy. If you have every player in this draft, you put them in a vacuum and you say everybody has 100% health, Harry Giles is the first pick in this draft. I just want to put that out there. He was better in high school than who's picked first? The young man with the 76ers. He's better than Lonzo Ball. He's better than all these guys. When he was in high school, he was the #1 prospect before he tore his ACL. All right, and then he tore his other ACL. This is why this guy, and I believe the Sacramento Kings picked him like 18, or they picked him late or whatever in the first round. This is why this is such a significant pick, and this is why this is such a great draft for him, for the Sacramento Kings. It's because this guy, he will get healthy. I believe it, because he was getting healthy last year. If he can get healthy and he can maintain the health in his knees, which a bunch of NBA doctors and trainers working on him to make sure he strengthens the right muscles and the right complementary muscles or whatever to keep his joints healthy, this guy's going to be a star in this league. He might be one of the biggest stars in this league in years to come. And they got him late in the first round. That's why this draft was so great for the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings, and let's just go down their roster. Aaron Follow, bought out, he's gone. Willie Cauley-Stein, I always thought he had a lot of Tyson Chandler in him. He can be a very good rim protector. He's very mobile. He can finish at the rim or whatever. He could be a very good player. Collison most likely is out of there. If he's under contract, he'll get bought out because they already got 2 point guards that they're going to be interested in. Tyreke Evans will be bought out. They got him as leftovers of a trade. De'Aaron Fox, of course, we already talked about him. Langston Galloway will be bought out. Or, I mean, if not bought out, traded, whatever way to get them off of the roster will happen. Rudy Gay is gone. They could keep him, but I'm sure he'll want to go to a contender. Once again, Harry Giles. Buddy Hield. Let's talk about Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield was the central figure in the DeMarcus Cousins trade last year, right? The owner and GM or whatever were going after him, and they gave up DeMarcus Cousins because they didn't want to build the team around him. They didn't have faith in him as a franchise player or as the face of the franchise, so they let him go, and Buddy Hield was the guy they wanted. Now, let's talk about Buddy Hield's game. He's a shooter. He's a three-point shooter. A lot of three-point shooters, game changers, right? You got Klay Thompson in the NBA. You got, what's his name? J.J. Redick. You got Devin Booker. You can name them. It's a lot of them, right? Buddy Hield hasn't been great in the NBA thus far, but why is that? It's because in this NBA, he's probably not good enough to be the focal point of an offense, as it's difficult to be a focal point of an offense as a three-point shooter who can't create his own shot, right? We saw them in yesteryear. We saw Reggie Miller, this guy, one of my favorite players ever. We saw Reggie Miller, we saw Ray Allen, we saw other players who were able to carry a team like that. However, it's more difficult now. It's easier. Defenses are so complex that they can key in on somebody's off the ball movement or whatever to prevent them from being able to be a leading scorer for a team. Now, that's outside of Klay, and the reason Klay can do it is because he has so many other weapons around him that are scoring threats. With these guys, with the draft that Sacramento, and it might take a while. I'm not saying next year they're going to win the championship. It's going to take a while. But with these guys, these weapons that Sacramento has just loaded up on, it will make the game so much easier for Buddy Hield. You'll start to see his game emerge more because he'll have more opportunities. Let's keep going. We talked about Justin Jackson, Kufos. I wonder what they're going to do with him. Skull, the other Wildcat from Kentucky last year. His game is interesting. I don't know what to really think about him yet. I haven't seen enough. At Kentucky, he spent a lot of time on the bench in the NBA. They haven't been good, so it's tough to get Sacramento. But I believe from what I seen of him, he has room to grow as a player. He could be a very good player. I do think if Harry Giles ends up being what I think he can be in the NBA, I do think Scar will be his backup. but I do think he can be a very good contributor in the NBA. Ty Lawson, he had a rebirth in his career last season, so we'll see what they do with him. Ben McLemore, he's another player who was a lottery pick or whatever, who we're still waiting on to really affect the NBA. Garrett Temple, I'm sure they'll keep him in tow. Malachi Richardson, that's going to be a tough one. I'm not sure what to say about him. And the other 7'1" guy. So as you can see, their roster is full of youth, but it's good youth. It's youth that can become something. That as a unit, they could become a great team. And I do think Sacramento Kings eventually are coming and will be a playoff team, perennial playoff team, possibly one of the powers. In the same way that Milwaukee is coming, in the same way that the Philadelphia 76ers are coming. You should consider the Sacramento Kings in that conversation. Not quite yet, but they're coming, all right? Leave your comments, let me know what you think. See you next time.